As a little child, my mother told me the horrors of the Nigerian Civil War. How women were raped, children were killed, more than 2 million people died of starvation. How the international community turned their back at the atrocities committed against the Easterners. It was such a horror that when the war ended, it was a great sigh of relief. Not because the Igbos gave up, but they felt the war was unnecessary. But they were able to hold out for 3 years through their own ingenuity. Above every other thing my mother told me, she told me that never in her lifetime will she pray for another war. She also told me that war was not only an option, but beyond that, she said you cannot beat a child and at the same time ask the child not to cry. When Nnamdi Kalu started dancing the Surugede dance, I remembered what my mother told me, and I feared for his life. He who was not present when the burial took place is always digging the grave from the wrong side. A woman cries so badly when her only son goes to a battlefield. The rise of Nnamdi Kalu has left a lot to be answered. The wide gap between the governed and the leaders, not just in the southeast, but across the Federation, and the subsequent arrest of Nnamdi Kalu made him a victim instead of a villain. The state of lack of federal presence in the southeast makes one to wonder if the war did not end more than 50 years ago. No seaport, no functional seaport in the southeast. The Akani Biam International Airport has not started functioning to its full capacity. The roads in the southeast are terrible, to say the least. No social amenities in the southeast. In the Federal Civil Service, the presence is zero. In the military, the presence is questionable. In the police, I guess they're not qualified to head the Nigerian police. The Nigerian custom, they're not qualified, I guess. But when Nnamdi Kalu started speaking for the common man over there, people believed him. Because if the federal government thought otherwise, they could have countered whatever propaganda he brought with feasible things to show that there was federal presence in the southeast. Whenever a leader fails to do what he's supposed to do, whenever a leader fails to step up the plate, an outsider helps him to do that. Remember, it may not be in the right way. That vacuum is what Nnamdi Kalu and Sunday Igboho filled. There was a vacuum. Women were being killed in the southwest. People will go to farm and not come back. Nobody acted. The federal government washed with hands akimbo. The Operation Python Dance was declared in the southeast. You can't move from one pole to the next pole without seeing the presence of the military or the police. Southeast more or less became a conquered territory, and they were treated as much, according to those who agitated. And when you look at it, you first saw the leaders of the southeast today are cold or dribbling their feet to the fate of Nnamdi Kalu. And the reason could not be far-fetched. Some of them due to their selfish political interest. They don't want to be labeled as IPOB. Some of them genuinely so because they question the tactics he employed by disdaining the most exalted position in the land, the office of the president, by also calling our beloved nation the zoo. But the question somebody has to answer is this: isn't Nnamdi Kalu a prophet? The treatment of a veteran Nollywood actor, Chimotala Agu, few days back, has left much to be desired. He was humiliated for wearing a t-shirt with the rising sun, a t-shirt that nothing was written on. In America, citizens can even dress up in military attires. Nobody harasses them because there is law and order. How can you harass a citizen, humiliate a citizen of Nigeria for wearing the color of the rising sun? If you had a question, you could have invited him honorably to the police station to ask him a question. But to detain him has left much to be answered. Especially, the question is if Nigeria is a zoo. But that's the story of another day. We were quick to arrest Nnamdi Kalu and Igboho. What about the sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria? Have they been exposed? Have they been arrested? We only hear they will have their day in court. Really? The quote-unquote sponsors of EndSARS that took place almost a year back, Nigerian government was quick to arrest them and put them behind bars. What about Sheikh Gumi, who has made himself the spokesman for the bandits? He wines and dines with them. Today, our dear president has sent him a condolence message for the death of his dear mother. Instead of arresting him and questioning him about the people he represents, what about all those like Fani Kayode who sat down and whined with Nnamdi Kalu, who enabled him and enabled Sunday Igboho through his rhetorics? Has he been arrested? Today, he is the hero of the APC. Is that justice? A land where there is no equity, justice and fair play cannot boast to be won. It didn't take Yar'Adua 7 years to fix the problem or the agitation in Niger Delta. Since the agitation in the southeast started, has anybody bothered to sit down with them and talk to them? Or they are only a dot in the circle? They are only good to be addressed as they will be dealt in a language they understand. A good leader should now refer to the genocide that took place in the southeast, where more than almost 3 million people died. A good leader is charismatic person who can navigate through tumultuous errors of a country to bring them together. Through his speeches, through his body language, the country is united. Nigeria is one, and we believe is one. But the actions don't speak so. The languages do not speak so. If we want Nigeria to continue being one, which we strongly believe in, we have to free Nnamdi Kalu. We have to bring Sunday Igboho out. They've not committed any offense in my language. If they have committed any offense, let them have their days in court. Let them have their days in court. If we want to do the right thing, if we want to do the right thing, if we want to do the right thing and promote unity in diversity in our dear country, everybody must be seen and treated as equal. It's only when we do that that we can say one Nigeria. This is Open Whispers. Thank you.